Michigan will face East Carolina on Saturday, folks. We are just days away. I am pumped about the season. I think it's a national championship season. Michigan is now favored by 36 points. The over-under is 52. I put my score prediction in at 52-9, so I think Michigan might hit that over just by themselves. Let's take a look at something I came across yesterday. I thought this was pretty interesting. Before we get into Michigan East Carolina preview, here are the latest betting odds to win the Big Ten. Ohio State currently with better odds than Michigan. It just makes my body just cringe up and want to crawl into a hole and cry. But how about that? How about the bettors? The general betting population said only 8.7% are betting on Michigan or Ohio State. 39.8% of the bets to win the Big Ten. So far, legal betting has come in on Michigan at nearly the same odds as Ohio State. I think that's big time. Ohio State and Michigan both have a 10.5 win total over-under. So if you think the Wolverines are going 10-2, 9-3, you bet the under. If you think they're going 11-1, 12-0, you bet the over. I'm going the over on that one. Wisconsin 7-1 odds. Was Penn State 6-1, and that's the only one with those four teams with any negligible odds or amount of bets. Wisconsin gets some nice there, 7-1. They get 19% of the money of the bets there. On winning the Big Ten. All right, guys, later we're going to give a jersey, tell you how to give a jersey from our sponsors. We still got a sponsor rolling into September with a jersey giveaway if you become a customer of theirs. So make sure you keep watching today's show. I'll tell you how to do that in about 5 minutes from now. We're 127,000 subscribers away from 27,000. So make sure to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and send that link to your friends who are Michigan football fans. Let the world know that Michigan Football Report is the only daily show on YouTube for the Wolverines. Biggest audience in 2022, and we expect to do so again in 2023 on any platform. 2 live shows per week on Wednesdays, and then starting out, we'll do some on Saturdays, live watch party coming up on Saturday, 11:15 a.m. Eastern. Let me know what you guys think on these Wednesday live shows. Should we do them at 8:30 p.m. or at 5 p.m. like we were doing today? Let me know with an A or a B. I just saw Hunter from John Blaze come in. John, as soon as we're done with this preview, you are back, my man, making it rain in Columbia. John Blaze joining our live show. That's what this is about here if you're watching this later on demand. Type A if you want 5 o'clock like we've done the last 2 weeks on Wednesday. You have to go prime time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Give me A, B, A or B. We'll kind of just let you guys decide what we should do for next week. Let's get to know our opponents, the East Carolina Pirates, who went 8-5 in 2022. They lost their opener last year to a top 15 team, NC State, only by a missed field goal they took at the end of the game, right at the end of the game. Their coach, Mike Houston, entering his 5th season, and they beat Coastal Carolina and Josiah Stewart, right? And Grayson McCall, whatever his name is, pretty damn good players. They beat them pretty good, 53-29 in the Birmingham Bowl. So normally I would say this is a team that Michigan should keep an eye out for. They're on upset alert, right? They almost beat NC State last year. They came close to beating a couple other teams that were good. They went 8-5. They're right up there. They're in a group of 5 conference. This isn't some UMass or some crazy team like that. And look about this stat. Their offense, fewest turnovers on offense, 5 interceptions and 2 fumbles last year. Michigan might be in trouble here, guys. This is a tough team. Well, probably not. All right. We're going to tell you why they're probably not coming up, but take a look at this stat here. They were 130th out of 133 teams this season. They are in returning production. They have lost almost everybody. From my count, and starters, one guy's a starter, one game, another game. They're missing like 17 of their 22 mostly starters. The guy who started the most games, 17 of 22 starters from last year's team are gone. So this team is replacing a lot. They've had a couple of transfers. The guys are stars, transfer to their schools. So they're almost a fresh program from the start. All last year's backups, and they've gone to the transfer portal as well. If you're going to the game on Saturday, make sure you're not the one who's wearing some gray sweatshirt or a blue shirt like me. It is a maize out at Michigan Stadium. So if you're headed to the game, go blue, wear maize, fill up that big house, Michigan Stadium, with all maize shirts and sweatshirts and whatever you have. Tank tops. It's going to be a hot one. It is going to be a hot one. So if you need to spend the cash, stop at the store, get yourself a maize shirt. Don't be caught wearing a blue shirt on camera, because maybe we should do this, Jack. We see people wearing blue in the stands, screenshot them. We're shaming. Next week, we're shaming people if you wear maize. How about the AAC championship, right? Who is going to win the conference? The conference that East Carolina is in Tulane, who I think they beat USC. Yeah, they beat USC last year. They're the favorites to win the conference championship, plus 210 odds. So basically 2-1 that they'll win. 9.5 is their win total over/under. SMU, Texas San Antonio, Temple, Navy, Memphis, there's East Carolina. So they've got the 8th best odds to win the conference. So not really thinking much of them. You got to bet, if you put up $100 and they win the conference, you win $5,000. So 50-1 odds to win the conference. That is pretty brutal. And a 5.5 over/under win total. This is going to be a 500 team at best, folks. So I think Michigan should have absolutely no problem. But we'll take more of a look at what this team is bringing, who the players to watch are on Saturday. But give me a Go Blue in the comments if you are a Michigan football fan, and this is the show for Michigan football fans. If you're a fan of another team watching this, welcome. But you should become a Michigan fan instead. Give me a Go Blue down in the comments. Let's keep going with our East Carolina-Michigan preview. I'm going to tell you about the players to watch, who the quarterback is, who's the running back, what they've got on defense, and what Michigan can expect. A couple more odds I want to keep you guys aware of as we enter this game. J.J. McCarthy, heading into the season, is now the favorite from a Michigan perspective, the best odds for the Heisman Trophy, which I found to be surprising given what Blake Corum has brought to the table. But I think you'd be like, oh, he's going to split carries with Donovan Edwards from time to time. Maybe he's going to be a little limited. Won't get all the touchdowns, 18 touchdowns in 10.5 games last year for Blake Corum. So McCarthy, if Michigan goes 12-0 again, and he is back-to-back undefeated quarterback of a top 2, top 3 team, maybe number 1 team if they go undefeated again, back-to-back years, you can't tell me he's not worthy of a Heisman Trophy. Very few quarterbacks in the history of college football have ever led back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. If you put $10 on JJ, you're going to win yourself 180. I think it was Donovan was 10,000 was the number. So if you put 10 Donovan, you win 10 to win 10,000. So it's 10,000 once. 100. Yeah, if you put 100, you win 10,000. If you put 10, you win 1,000. And Blake Corum, if you risk 10, you win $280. Those are the odds for the Heisman. If you guys want to bet on that, I told you about our sponsor giveaway at the beginning of the show. BetUS is our sportsbook partner for this season. Those odds are bettable on BetUS. You get a 125% deposit bonus. So let's say you put in $100, an extra $125 to bet with. You got to go to chatsports.com/GoBlue. Make sure you use that link and that promo code, because if you do, we get a report and we can offer you this. We will send you a Michigan football jersey, Jordan brand, not some knockoff, Jordan brand Michigan football jersey. You go to the link, so screenshot your phone right now if you're on it. You sign up and deposit $100 or more. You make your first bet. You get that 125% deposit bonus. And you email us. Jack and I are going to get your information, your account number, verify you, address, size, and ship you off a Michigan football #1 jersey. We've shipped off quite a few just this week already. This won't last long. I think it's going to probably last into early September. Get going, chatsports.com/GoBlue. Get yourself a Michigan football jersey and a deposit bonus with BetUS. How about Michigan injury report? Starters who might not play. I am uncertain at this time. I hope to know by Friday. Typically, I get a good Thursday night practice update, and we can do a little update for you on Friday. But as of now, I do not expect Will Johnson to play. I am 50-50 on Makari Paige and Rod Moore. I would guess that at least one of those guys does not play. And Cornelius Johnson has been banged up, is the latest word, and he might not be in the lineups. Those are potentially stars who might not play for Michigan on Saturday. Don't be surprised if quite a few guys end up not playing, unfortunately, because Michigan does not think much of this ECU team, it seems, and they want to get guys healthy. Will Johnson, get him healthy. I don't think Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards are going to sit out, but I wouldn't also be surprised. I don't know why they would, but let's see. Let's see what happens. This has been a concerning thing, though, all fall camp for me with Michigan, is I have heard of more players missing practice this fall camp than I can remember in years and years and years. So just something to keep an eye out. See who's out there in the lineup. See who's out there as starters, as backups, who's hurt, and then we'll probably understand next week how serious any of those injuries are. Jump into ECU, East Carolina. Who are the top players? Who guys need to worry about on Saturday? Rahjai Harris. He was kind of their 1A, 1B running back last year, and then he tore his ACL after the 5th game. 238 yards and 5 touchdowns in those 5 games last year, but he's not kind of the backup, the 1B running back anymore. He is your starter. BJ Davis, right? He transferred in from South Carolina State. Was there for the last 4 years. Last year, 94 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, 5 interceptions. He is one of many transfer portal players that ECU is bringing in this year. Julius Wood, 88 tackles and 2 picks, 3 forced fumbles last year. One of the few returning starters for ECU this year. And then Mason Garcia was a 3-star recruit, like top 500 player in the country a few years back. He only threw 38 passes last year, 179 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. He is slated to be your starting quarterback for East Carolina versus Michigan. This team has lost, folks. Their starting quarterback, their starting running back from last year, their top 2 starting wide receivers, and their top tight ends from the 2022 offense. They went heavy in the portal, but it's not just skill position players. They're only returning 1 starting offensive lineman. So if my math is correct, we have 1 starter returning on offense. Is that right? I mean, what am I missing there? You're not returning your receivers. Now you start tight end, quarterback, running back, 4 of the 5 offensive linemen. 1 starter returning on offense. I don't know, Jack. If I said my score prediction was 52-9, if Michigan gives up 3 scoring drives on this team, whew, I might be tough. And then Malik Fleming, their 4-year starter cornerback, the star of their defense returning, he decided to transfer to Houston. Not even a really good school, right? They're in their first year in the Big 12. So this team has been decimated by guys leaving, and then transfer portal was not good to them. They brought in a bunch of guys from the transfer portal because they had to field a team. But this is a team that's going to go. I mean, I know the over-under was 5.5 wins. I bet this is like a 3-9 team, 2-10 team. Michigan should easily score 40 points in the first half on East Carolina. Give me your score predictions there in the comments. Let me know what you guys think the score prediction is. I've said 52-9. The more I've thought about it, I'm going to stick with 52-9. But gosh, 63-0, Jack, is not crazy to think about. 69-0, 60-72. I mean, it could be pretty ugly. But my thought is with Michigan on offense with all the starters, 40 points is the number that I'm expecting in the first half. Let me know on my Instagram account. Go to the Michigan Football Report Instagram account right now or in the next 24 hours before this story expires. Comment, go to the story, hit that type something thing, give me your score prediction. I will give away $25 after the game to the first person to correctly predict the score. But you got to do it on Instagram to get credit because it's a lot easier to track there than it is from YouTube. Had some shenanigans last year, people trying to edit their comment afterwards, trying to be tricksters, get some money out of me. But let's see if anybody could do it there on Instagram where you can't change your answer. Keep rolling with this East Carolina team, right? So we know one starter returning on offense. Their best returning starter on defense decided to transfer to Houston. They brought in a bunch of portal players. They've only got 5, maybe 6, maybe 4, depending on what guy you think of their starting 22 who are returning this season. Their head coach going into this 5th year. So they've got some continuity. They've got some things going on. But when you were the worst defense, one of the worst defenses last year in giving up 292 yards passing, Michigan should have a field day through the air this year on this team. And then they're returning production overall, 130th out of 133 teams, 1 starter, an offensive lineman returning an offense. This is a smashed together team. I don't think they've got the continuity or the talent to put up any scoring drives on Michigan or to stop Michigan at any single point. So I am predicting an absolute blowout. My first half prediction, I think Michigan's going to be up 42-0 at half. Let me know what you guys are thinking on Instagram and in the comments here on YouTube.